the next time he'll see anybody else from this race will be when he's watching the sprint for second.
He's about 2 kilometres on the road in front of them.
80 kilometres off the front on his own. The salt stains will be washed away shortly. It's time for Luke Durbridge to salute. It has been a turbo demolition. Durbridge gets the job done.
All right, second time in a day that I'm going to talk to a champion of the Santos Festival of Cycling. Luke Durbridge has told me he's ready to chat. Sarah Giganti spoke to me earlier and she gave me a little overview of what it was like racing down in South Australia.
This has turned into quite a massive front group.
There we go, Durbo at the stream.
G'day, mate.
Look at you. God damn, you're a handsome man. How you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Could that be the first January in like 12 years where we haven't hung out?
It was sad for a lot of reasons, the old TDE. It was good to have something, but it was definitely not the same. Even the crowd, you're surprised actually how much crowd comes from Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, you know. It's, I mean, and even then, people in Adelaide, they weren't going out as much because they sort of had to check in and it was like COVID safe. And it was good. Like, it was good, but it was just, yeah, it was not the same.
You know what it's been like, so it's not like that. So it's sort of a bit difficult, isn't it?
No, when you get an Aussie day with 10,000 people on Wollonga Hill, it's pretty incredible.
Obviously, you're in good form. Oh, Wollonga, everyone knows it. So let's start with that. It hurt like hell, I imagine.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I've never gone up at full gas. I guess my job's always done into the bottom of it. I've always wanted to go. I've always wanted to check out what it's like to be close to Richie to see when he actually goes. I mean, I know Richie's not in the same shape as he is normally in January, but I was like, well, just, even if he's at 80, 90%, just be nice to see what you can do. And I've seen a few people try and hold the wheel over the years. See Rowan try to hold the wheel and Jade and a few of these boys and Darryl. And I was like, just be like to see if I could react. Like maybe I could do 1 pedal stroke or 2 pedal strokes or 3 pedal strokes just on the back of him before he went,
Richie Porter is number 1, the king of Wollonga Hill. He's got to Chris Harper. Followed up Wollonga Hill. And there it goes.
He doesn't have to look again. He doesn't have to attack again because Drew Morey has... Here are the chasers. This is Chris Harper, followed by Luke Durbridge. Then number 5, it's Luke Platt.
Yeah, I couldn't even move. I just stayed there. I couldn't even get out of my saddle. I was just going as hard as I could, and then he just looks back and he just does the acceleration and then ciao. See you later. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I sort of got... I wasn't too far off him in the end, but... yeah, I was actually pretty happy. I think I was 15th fastest ever up there or something, so it's not too bad compared to, 80 kilos versus, I don't know, whatever Richie is, 60 kilos ringing wet. But, so, no, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, tell me about your big breakaway day. Was that sort of always on the agenda or are you just like, oh, hang on a second, look at that, through a big gap, or did you just okay, this is it, time trial training? How did that work out the first day?
Well, it was sort of just, we were trying to work out the right combination. It's always hard when you're the favourite team to try and work out the right combination of who's in the break and, can I beat this person? Because you don't really know, with local guys as well, this guy could be doing, 30-hour weeks over December and you don't really know how good he is. And next minute he comes out and, I think it was at Macaulay last year at the Nationals. He was just a freak. He ended up running 3rd. He's in the break all day. And you just don't know. So we're in the team meeting. We're trying to sort of circle guys that are good or potentially will be good or anyway. And if there's a group of 10, we have to have 2 in it. Group of 5, we can have 1 in it, but make sure Durbo, there's no one faster than you. So you have to beat them in the sprint and all this sort of stuff. So it's quite confusing for the favourite team to work it out. So after the intermediate sprint, they went so hard. I just decided that I'd squeeze on for a little bit after the intermediate straight past them. And they went so hard they were just legless, and I just sort of like looked back and I could see them trying to come across to me, and they just couldn't close. I thought, well, I'll just squeeze for about 10 minutes here, and then if I've got a good gap by then I'll just back it off, go into some sort of zone 2 tempo work, and then just settle in for the day. Which is sort of the training I've been doing for the whole off season anyway, just that base zone 2 tempo stuff. So then when I went to there, after 10 minutes I was already at a minute and a half, and Wilson come up next to me and said, "Mate, they're flailing back there. Like you okay up here?" I said, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. I've just toned it back a couple of watts now, and I'm just going to settle in now." He said, "Because it's 80k to go." And then the gap just kept going, and just kept going, and then probably after half an hour, I was up to about 4 minutes. So Wilson's like, "Look, to be honest, this is sort of your race to lose now."
3 riders chasing him as hard as they can. For the last 5 kilometres, they've only taken 25 seconds off Durbridge, who's been out there for almost 80 kilometres.
So just settle in and maybe take it back a few watts in case you don't cramp or anything. So I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. And then, about 20k to go. It was a bit of a crisis. I was cramping in my left and my right and my fingers and my hand and my neck. And I was like, "Oh, yes, I'm flailing here. So as long as I get over the last climb, I'll be okay," which is what I did. And then ended up holding on by about 2.5 minutes. So set up the tour very nicely.
Well, that's cool. I mean, you and I have talked a lot over the years. So when you talk about something like the cramp that you went through, it sort of harks back to, a sensation that everyone's gone through. So when you're doing that, are you stretching, are you drinking, you're trying to eat a bar of salt, or what do you do when you're going through that ultimate cramp and it hurts like hell?
Well, I've been playing around because I'm generally not really good in the heat, Rob. I'm normally my jersey's white. Everyone sees me over the years with some famous salty pictures from me. So what I've sort of worked out in the past, I had to pretty preload on salt before the race. So I'll drink, 1.5 litres, 2 litres in the morning of just, mineral salt mix, just to sort of make sure I'm, fueled and ready for the effort. And but then generally in the race, I don't necessarily have too much. I just sort of keep it water, especially if it's a short stage. Like it was only 120k, so it wasn't that long. So, but after it was about maybe 30k to go, I started to get a bit of twinges, which I mean that I've sort of used all my minerals, and now I need to start getting a few minerals in rather than just drinking water, because water's just depleting your system. So then I sort of was on the radio. I said, "Wilson, can you chuck a salt tablet in a bottle for me as soon as possible, please, and come up and give it to me, because it's a little bit dire straits out here." And so yeah, he chucked him in, and then I don't know if it did anything, but it sort of kept me at bay for a little bit, and then so I drank that and then survived to get to the finish. But it's just sort of over the years a bit of a balancing act, because if you have too much salt, you can cramp. If you have too much water, you can cramp. So there's just sort of this happy medium you need to be between, and your body gives you a little bit of warning when you're either way. So after a few years, I've started to realize my biggest indicator is my fingers. I cramp in my fingers first. So I got this sort of, my finger be right on this, and all of a sudden my finger be like, whoa, 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 whoa. So I pull that back, and then, okay, I need to start drinking something now. Fingers start coming out. I was riding up the last climb like a little velociraptor sort of thing. My fingers out like that,
So I can throw to another anecdote. I don't know if it was you or Matt Goss, but did you exude static electricity? Is that you? Remember one time we rode back from Stirling and someone was throwing electric shocks, one of the green.
Oh, yeah, that was me. Yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Yeah, what's that?
I could zap people. I don't know what that is. No idea. No, just an electric personality, Rob,
No lengthy explanation for that one. All right, so he sweats a lot, he eats salt. A lot of people at that point are going for sugars. You don't do that. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have the sugars. I'm not out there not eating. I'll be eating sort of, 60 to 80 grams of carbs per hour, at least. And But, I mean, it's ideal if you get some salts in with that, with normal food. But with a shorter stage, I sort of stick to mostly gels, and they're not really got a lot of mineral content in them anyway, just sugar. So they're keeping me up, my engine full energy-wise, but they're not replenishing any electrolytes or, sodium that you need as well. So you sort of need to add both in. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, that, seriously, this is my second interview for the year, and suddenly I'm into the depths of it. I didn't even plan any of that. I was just going to sort of talk to you about wine and stuff. Life's good. Everything is happy. Married life.
We're all going good, mate. I did 2 weeks quarantine when I came back from Europe, and mate, I nearly do 4 weeks quarantine considering how nice it's been being out in normality. I think after the year we've had over in Europe, it was quite solid. 2.5 months locked inside without even going out for exercise or anything like that. So I'd sort of, burnt the fuse of motivation. I mean, obviously it's a hard year for everyone, so definitely not saying it was anything harder for me in particular, but it just was just exhausting. And when I sort of light into the tunnel, I thought, I don't really care how much it's going to cost or how hard it's going to be, but I just want to go back and just at least enjoy a month of just some sort of normality. And I think, just to refill the mental tank before I go back to Europe, because I think it's just going to be pretty much the same as this year. We're going to sort of have some races, maybe have a few cancellations, be in that sort of, in limbo mode. You don't know, you prepare for something that might not go ahead, and a lot of fear around it. And, a lot of people can buy into that as well. And it's a funny sort of, emotional roller coaster you're on.
Yeah, I'm just really, really happy where I'm at. And, just looking forward to the season, and hopefully it goes ahead, and I can carry this form onto Europe and have some big results there. That'll be great. When
I saw that you won, and then you won by a shitload on the first day, I was thinking, okay, he doesn't know when he's going to race again, so he's going to do it properly. Is that sort of the emotion that goes on in a race like that? I don't know. It must be terrible to work as a pro athlete in 2021.
I was just thinking, that's what I said in an interview previously. It was just not necessarily looking at okay, today's, the Tour of Flanders, and today's stage 1 and 2 down under, or, the national time trial or whatever. It's just try and take the opportunity when it's there, and not think about it too much in terms of just tomorrow I'm going to get up, go riding my bike, come back, enjoy myself, rest, whatever. And then the next day I'm going to do it again, go ride my bike, because that's what I do. It's not a sacrifice. It's kind of who I am, and I love doing it. And then when a race comes around, I'm ready to go and roll the dice and give it a crack. And it doesn't sort of looking at a race. It doesn't matter if it's a local criterium or Paris-Roubaix. Just have a good race and just have a crack, And I think that's sort of my mentality this year. Is what you sort of had to have, because you just didn't know what was going to happen. I was prepping for Roubaix and they got cancelled, and the Tour de France couldn't do it because the World Championships were on the same time, and then they changed that and the Olympics got cancelled. It was all these big goals that you were sort of trying to prepare for. And for athletes, it's just goal mentality. Your year's on a spreadsheet, and you can pick, I'm going to be good here, good there, good there. And then all of a sudden that world just got completely shaken. So you needed to just sort of be a little bit more relaxed about it and sort of flow and just you know what I mean? Just go with the flow. Could go ahead, doesn't matter. If it's going to go ahead, doesn't matter. That sort of thing. And I think that's why this year I'm sort of going to run with that mentality and sort of yeah, cool. I'm prepping for the classics, so I'm going to train well for it. But if it doesn't go ahead, then there'll be another race, and I'll have a go at that.
You might be doing Paris-Roubaix in June or September or anything to that. It's 2021, a whole new script, isn't it? Well, bravo for sort of explaining that, because I don't know how I'd cope. It'd be difficult, but I can talk to you forever, but we won't. I'm watching. It's 14 minutes at the moment, so not to go too hard, because I expect to speak to you again, because you're a good bloke and we've known each other a long time, and you've always been really forthcoming, so thanks. Talk to me about your song course, if you don't mind. Did you use the lockdown to really get to know your wines, and where are you at with that?
Well, since the SOM course, I haven't actually I mean, I've been continue to, build on the knowledge, but I haven't upskilled since then. We got a bit of a wine club in Girona with a few of us. We sort of it's called Wine Club, more or less. It's quite good. Probably get together about once a month when we can, and we pick a subject, and it might be actually I think in Spain we had one. It was your cheapest bottle of wine, go-to cheapest bottle of wine. Guys that are bringing their €650 wine in or something, or €8 here or €5 there, and we'd sort of do the tasting notes on that. So Mitch Jocker and I are sort of probably the most into it, and actually Ben O'Connor now is really into his wine. He knows it very, very well. So yeah, it's good just that we can get together and just chit chat about it, and not just drink it. But in the lockdown, I think it was more just drinking it just to get through it at that point.
It's always a pleasure talking. Should we dong it on the head now and agree to stay in touch?
Sounds good, mate.
Thanks very much, Lou.
All right.
I learned a lot.